Have you had it long?
I've had it for about 20 years.
And why are you here today with it?
Because it's stuck up in a wardrobe and it's not getting any use.
So did you buy her in a shop or?
I bought her at car boot.
It's ready as a car boot. Okay, and do you know anything about her?
I know she's French, 1920s.
Well, I think she's lovely. If you turn her upside down, you can see where the lamp fitting goes in. That comes out, and the wire goes through the hole in the back. And I suppose, have you ever had her lit?
No, I haven't, no.
I assume she just sort of glows gently. She appears to be in perfect order, doesn't she? Love the colour. Love the colour. She's got marks on the base where she says Roby Paris made in France. Right. Okay. Suppose you want some money for her. Start with £100. How are we doing? Start.
No.
Well, it's a good start, though.
It's a good start, yeah.
150.
Get in there.
170. Pretty colours.
No, not yet.
So where do you want to be?
A bit more than that.
We swap that for that. So you're now up to £200. What do you think?
Is that your final offer?
I think I'm going to stick with my 200.
Now, just before you answer that, let me just tell you what the independent valuers, what the auctioneers think and what I think. 150 to 200 is one estimation, 2 to 3 is the other. I have to tell you the 2 to 3, I think he's being adventurous. I think at £200, it's honest, it's fair, it's a strong offer, and my advice is this: never look a gift horse in the mouth, take your money, and then let Jo either sell it or maybe keep it for the night she goes out in Newcastle.
So, you've heard David's advice.
I think we've got a deal.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
bringing it in. And now you can tell me what you paid for it.
I paid £1.50.
Oh, done, girl.
Well done indeed, Jane. That's a pretty spectacular profit.
I know she wanted it. I pushed her all the way and I'm happy.
Across the room, Leslie's brought in a carriage clock on behalf of her mum. But how much is she hoping for?
Between 100 and 150. Hopefully 150.
Tony Gearing can't wait to get a closer look.
I'm a little bit excited. It's in its box. I think I noticed that it's got curved brass, which is quite unusual, so hopefully it's a really good maker.
Well, let's see if Leslie gets what she wants for her mum.
And what have you brought in for me today?
Yeah, it belonged to my grandma.
Ah,
Still in its case.
let's have a look here, shall we? Little French number there. The French made probably most of the carriage clocks of the 19th and 20th century. Very good at it they were as well. Very fine movements, great timekeepers, great quality engineering. Also, I presume this comes up.
Yeah.
So that's... And this one comes up as well, so, yeah.
So it's like a display case.
Yeah, so you can see it in its case and see the time and keep out the sort of dust and air, and that's what we're trying to do, protect the movement, which is why the movement's all encased in its own airtight container. Well, it's lovely, it's got its original case and its original key, double-sided, one for the chime and one for the workings, for the movement. Does it work?
Yeah.
It ticks along nicely?
Yeah.
Let's see what I can make you smile with out of here, shall we? I'm going to go 20, 40.
I'm not smiling.
I can see that. 60, 80, and that's got to get you smiling.
Not yet.
Just humming.
Yes. Not sure about that.
We'll go round it in at 100.
I think you could maybe do a little bit better because of all the things that you pointed out about having the case and the key.
But it is what it is. It's commercial, mass-produced. It's not any of the great makers. There's not even a maker's mark in it that I can see anywhere. So I'm going to stick with 100, but let's see what David has to say.
Well, I think what Tony says is right, but in some ways, when you think about it, if you were starting off and you were making your first purchase, you wouldn't be doing too badly if you bought this little carriage clock. The estimation in the sale room today is 100 to 150. And I would have thought it probably is worth 120, 130 quid in the sale room. It's probably worth another 20 quid. Now, in recent times, items like this haven't done well, but I think that is a clean, honest item, and people at the sale room, apart from the trade, retail people will recognise that and think, that's a clean little clock, and it's worth its money.
Thank you.
I'm going to go another 20 on that. It is absolutely a sweetie.
I think that's fair enough, to be honest. I think if you allow for the commission that you might get at the auction, then that's fair
And
enough.
hopefully I'll make a tenner.
Hopefully. But my mum will have to give me some commission, I think, for doing all this work for her.
See you and your mum, my darling. I'm sure she will.
Much.
No, thank you very much. Thanks
you.
for coming in.
Got what's roughly the figure that I'd like. Yeah, I hope my mum's going to be happy with it too. I want a cocktail out of it at least.
Cheers to that, Leslie. Next up, Don has done his homework and is hoping that Henry Nichols might be the right dealer to buy his reproduction bronze horse.
Yeah, I've seen Henry on the programme previously, and he seems to be a very good dealer. He seems to give very fair prices, so I might have a chance of making a slight profit, maybe.
Henry likes the look of it, but will he be put off because it's a reproduction?
What an impressive piece we're looking at. It's decorative, it's a good subject. It's just a real shame that it's not right.
Watching on the sidelines to ensure fair play is the Duke and auctioneer Kevin Kendall.
What do you know about it?
Well, I've discovered it's not an original old bronze.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know much about it otherwise.
Okay. Well, you've hit the nail on the head, Don, to be honest.
Yeah.
As much as what we've got here is a really impressive piece of kit,
Yeah.
it's got everything going for it. It's a polo subject, which is really popular. It is actually made of bronze. It's just a shame it is a reproduction. So the question is, where did you find such an impressive piece as this?
In a car boot sale.
A car boot?
Seriously.
I bet you thought you were onto a winner, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If it was the real McCoy, I'd be putting down bundles of money onto the
I
table.
understand.
But it's not. So I'm going to put some money out and see if I can tempt you. But bear in mind that we can buy this sort of thing still today.
Now, Kevin, when this first came through the door, from about 100 yards, I thought, oh, what have we got here? As I drew closer to it, it then was apparent that what we have got is a modern reproduction bronze, perhaps of an old subject matter. As it is, as a decorative item, how have you valued this?
I think I put about a 150 to 200 estimate, purely on its aesthetic value.
Well, I feel the same, and the independent valuers, they've said 150, 200 pounds. Let's see what Henry says about it. There's a lot there for your money.
So, Don, let's put some money on the table. 20. 40. Don't worry, there's more coming. 60. 80 pounds. That's a very definite, very disappointed looking Don.
That's a no.
That's a definite no.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's go a little bit more. 100. How's that seem?
Keep going.
Keep going. I don't know, what does David think?
Well, Don, it's a difficult one. What we've got here is a fairly recent casting of a very dramatic, quite glamorous bronze. If this was a 19th century bronze by Bonheur or by one of the great Amulaire type bronze producers, we would be talking thousands. But £100 still doesn't sound a lot of money for a large bronze. So I'm going to say it's probably worth a bit more than that. You know if it's near what you paid or if it's a lot less. So I'm going to leave you with Henry.
Thank you, David. So we're at £100. Am I far away?
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit, okay. But I'm going to
Well,
see if I can
quite a
tempt you a little bit more. 120. £140.
I'd like some more, please, Henry.
£140 is on the table, Kevin. No commission to pay. Can you do better in the sale room?
I think if I was the owner, I would actually be selling it now and cutting my losses.
OK. My advice would be the same. If he's paid more, maybe now's the time to get out of this object. Or, if he fancies a gamble, well, that's up to him.
To be honest, Don, I think that's where I want to be with it.
Yeah.
I think, for me, I've got to sell it on. David?
Henry's a very fair dealer. What did you pay for it? Can you declare? Because I have a feeling Henry isn't going to go much further anyway.
No, 200.
Okay.
200.
Fair enough. I think, first of all, you did exceptionally well to buy this for 200 in a retail situation because it is still quite an undertaking for that kind of money. Yeah. Our independent value is, say, £150 to £200. If you go to auction, another person like yourself, Don, may say, that's a lot of bronze for the money, that is. I fancy a little dabble at that. So it may be worth a gamble to go to auction. There may be someone there that thinks, I can use that outside, or I don't mind it. It's a good visual object. So maybe someone will put down the extra money, but that's tempting.
So, Don, we've heard what David's got to say.
Yeah.
The gamble is yours. I mean, I think I'm where I want to be. I don't think I want to give any more money for it.
I think I've got to take a gamble, really, and go to auction with it.
I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope you get back more than it actually cost you. I really do. Don, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. He's explained everything to me, and I can understand his reasons for the offer he's made on it. But I still think it's worth a bit more.
So Don's gambling on making his money back at auction, but has he made the right call?
We're creeping up to your £200 now.
Find out in a few minutes. Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Skipton in North Yorkshire. Before the break, Don turned down Henry's offer of £140 for his bronze statue.
Don't think I want to give any more money for it.
I think I've got to take a gamble, really, and go to auction with it.
Don's hoping he'll get back the £200 he paid. He's joined the Duke in the sale room where it's about to go under the gavel.
You sat down with our dealer on the dealer's day, Henry. He offered you 140, which would have shown you a loss. You decided against that.
Have a gamble.
Gambling here at the auction. Reserve is 150 quid. Is it going to make 150 or more? Let's find out.
So I will start the bidding with me at 150. 150 bid, 150, 160.
160, 170.
170, 170, 170, 80 anywhere. 170, 170 on commission only. Have you all done this time? Going to sell? 180.
180, just in time. We're creeping up to your £200 now.
190, 190, 190. 190, you're out behind the chair. I'm selling. Have you all done at 190?
It's just made 190, close to what you paid under the gavel, but when we deduct the commission, you're left with £155. You've got to go out now to that car boot sale, invest that £155 and try and get back your 200 quid.
Absolutely.
On the day, the real deal was 190, 155 to take home, real deal.